Hello, my little muffins, and we're gonna do like Grouchy X listener. You know the Smurfs. Okay, let's go. You were new around the Smurfs. You're a girl. You always like to play Brainy's glasses a lot, and he always says, "Papa Smurf says never play with someone's glasses. Give it back." But you ran away with it. You were trying to hide real quick, but you saw Grouchy. And you have a perfect idea. You sat on his lap, and suddenly Grouchy says, "Me, I don't like when somebody sits on my lap." And then you just squeezed his cheeks like so much that Grouchy cannot take anymore. He took your hand and slowly, technically trying to pin you down, but Hetty and Smurf saw it. Hetty was like, "That's my boy. Grouchy has a girl now." And Smurf says, "Oh, that's so cute." But you suckily blushed and slapped him and ran. Brainy says, "Hello, have you seen my glasses?" Listener has took it. And Hetty says, "Why are you Smurfing your own size?" And then he kicked Brainy up to the sky and fell. And you got way too tired and you had to go. But you ran into Baby. He was crying, but you settled him down. And he was happy. You were like, "Phew, that was close not to make him cry. But it's my turn to take care of Baby." You were actually walking with him to take care of him. And actually, Grouchy saw you. And then he says, "Me, you meet in my room tonight." And you were saying, "Okay." And then after tonight, you went to Grouchy's house and knocked at the door. And Grouchy opened it, says, "Welcome, come in." And you come in, and suddenly Grouchy pinned you down on the bed. And you say, "Grouchy, what are you doing? This is quite actually weird." And Grouchy just grabbed your faces and he was kissing you. And you kissed him back. And after you realized you were doing your games, you came out of his room and walked. After all the stuff forgot the lunch, you were trying to walk, but you can't. Your legs were hurting. Chef saw you and says, "Oh, listener, I'm glad you're here. You want some cakes?" Oh, me. Oh, wait, Hannah. Muffins. Sorry, listener. There's no cakes today. And you said, "Oh, here, I'll come over." And Chef says, "All right, Greedy, do not eat listener's cake." And Greedy says, "Oh, come on, Chef. I really like muffins. Can you give me another one?" And Chef says, "Okay, Greedy, I'll just give you 10. And Greedy says, "Thank you, Chef." You were trying to walk, but Greedy says, what's wrong with you? You can't even walk well, listener." Sorry, I had to cover my throat. And you said, "Yeah, I'm totally fine, but my legs are hurting." But Vanity was trying to help you to walk, but you fell. You fell down and you were hurt. Your head was bleeding. All the others saw it and they were panicking. And the doctor, the Dr. Smurf, but Papa Smurf saw your head was bleeding. And he said, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Vanity says, "Well, I was trying to help her walk because her leg was hurting and fell down on this rock." And the doctor says, "Well, she can't walk anymore." And she got a little bit head bleeding because she fell on the rock. And Papa Smurf says, "Wait, what do you mean you can't walk, listener?" And you were like, well, I technically, was spending the night with Grouchy, and then I fell on something on the floor, and my legs were starting hurting. But you can't get up, but Grouchy just came over and you exactly just told Hefty to carry you. Then Hefty says, alright, if you get your leg hurt, we have to take you home. And Grouchy got extremely jealous. And he said, me, I don't like jealousy. And Jokey was like, And he walked over to Grouchy and took him with him. And, alright, Grouchy, I see you were jealous. A listener like Hefty was carrying listener. And Grouchy says, me, I don't even like her. And Jokey says, oh, yes you do. You're extremely jealousy. And Grouchy says, no, I don't feel jealous. And I'll just go keep an eye on baby. And Joker was going to make extremely weird. After you were on the doctor, you were walking well. But Jokey was going to ask you some question at the table. And you guys were talking much. And Jokey says, present? And you were like, not joking. I know it's a lotion present. And Jokey says, no, this is a real one. But you opened it was from Grouchy. You press the voice, and then it says, me, I like her. She's cute and adorable. I just want to beep. I want to smurf her up. And you blush really, and you drew the present and broke the voices. You were blushing and you ran. And then you were about to run, you bumped into Papa Smurf. And Papa Smurf says, oh, hey, listener, you're still feeling better? And you said, yeah, I still feel better. And Papa Smurf says, why were you running? But Gargamel came to the village. He said, ha 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 ha, there's no stopping me. Let's get all the Smurfs. Azrael, get all the Smurfs. And Azrael was catching all the Smurfs. But you ran into the forest safely. But Grouchy followed you. And Papa Smurf and Greedy and Chef and Smurfette. And Brainy too. And Tim. And you guys, you stopped, and then you told them that we had to get all safe. And everybody agreed. So, after all you guys saving Gargamel, you were extremely tired. But how you told Hefty a plan to be distracting Grouchy. And then Smurfette too. And and then after Smurfette and Hefty knocked on the door, Grouchy answered. They were talking about you. You came into the window and stole his jacket and left. You told it's clear. And then Smurf says, oh, never mind. Let's go talk to listener. And Hefty says, oh, yeah, let's go. Grouchy was confused at why they were talking about you. And he just shoulder up and about to go to sleep. But he forgot the jacket. But he lost his. He yelled that somebody stole his jacket. But after he went to go to your house and knocked on your door, you opened it, and then he just came and closed the door, and then locked the door, shoot us off the windows, and pinned you down on the bed. And Grouchy says, me, I don't like when you stole my jacket. And you were blushing real bad. And then after he kissed you and the things, you were suckling blushing. And then he covered the sheet and kissed you goodnight and walked out. And Smurfette saw the whole thing. You told Hefty about Grouchy and you laughing together. So you were walking. Smurf grabbed your arm and took you to her room. And then she told you that I heard about you making a Grouchy last night. You blushed and you said, no, Grouchy was not. And Smurfette says, I think he did. You were blushed extremely badly. And so you got Smurfette got a great idea, and she made you wear that main outfit, but told Papa Smurf first. And Papa Smurf says, well, we need Grouchy to be happy, so I'll agree. So Smurfette put a main outfit on you, and then just Smurfette says, you look so adorable. But you said, but it will make Grouchy real mad. But I don't want to get him mad at me. But Smurfette says, come on, listener, try it. But you just took a deep breath, and then you did. You were walking with the main outfit. Everybody saw your main outfit. And Farmer says, hey, listener, great outfit. You say, thanks. Brainy says, hey, listener, great outfit. And beautiful. You said, thank you. And Clumsy says, hey, listener, great outfit. He was crushed. And you say, thank you. You were walking around. Everybody loves your outfit. Vinny says, whoa, listener, great outfit. I love that fashion clothes. Who did this? You said, Smurfette. She did it for me to give her for Grouchy's reaction. And Vinny says, after you're done, tell me everything about him. You have crush. You brush, and then you saw Grouchy taking care of baby. You walked over, but Jokey extremely saw you, and he said, hey, great outfit, listener. He slapped your butt. And then Grouchy saw it, but he ignored it. He didn't want to get in trouble from Papa Smurf. But you walked over to him, but you looked at him. But Handy says, oh, well, I'm going to give you 2 space. He saw you with the main outfit, and then he extremely have a nosebleed. And shockingly, he carries you, but give baby to Ray from Diaper Daddy. You know, Handy made him after all this stuff. And then he took you to his room, put her right there, and then after all the time he was smacking your butt was hurting. You couldn't sit. But you looked at him, and you pick up a rock. But Hetty says, no, listener, what are you doing? And you said, I'm going to change this punk this lesson. And you threw the rock, and he got hit. And you said, that's what you have for hitting my butt. And Grouchy says, ow, me, I don't like hitting balls. And you step on his stomach and walk. You went to Blossoms and Storm. And Storm's Grouchy did what? And you said, yeah, he did. He really has a crush on me, though. But I don't think he did. I like him back. But I will make part 2 sooner. Okay, my little puffin. Bye.